Alright, as promised, here's the aircraft I been kind of working on just in a little last maybe week and a half. It's the British Aerospace, or known as the BAE-146. Later known as the Arvo RJ when I think it got sold to somebody else. Who knows? Anyways, um, and so I've had this file actually for a while. A lot of my files that you see here um, have been converted to basically Visio. It's it's pretty simple. Basically, as long as I have a view of the aircraft, a front, and it has to be cut, from the middle, looking at it, side, and top, and just with those basic dimensions. Once I scale it down, I'll actually write where's the mouse here? I'll actually make my scale dimensions, basically at what length to what length. And so what I've done, I don't use the variety of programs I used to use in the past, only because it's just, you find out you spend more time working on this than your actual model itself. So that's just me. And so and I like to keep it simple. So anyways, down here you see all these tabs. And so what I've done is just like anybody would do it on paper. It's the same concept, just we just do it on the computer. And what I've done is basically I'll get the model, I'll stretch it to the dimensions that it requires. So this line here will give me the dimension. Where is it here? Actually, it's back here. It's been a while since I worked on this file. Anyways, it'll give me that dimension for the height, and I'll come down here, it'll give me the height. And then these lines in red will give me certain dimensions, certain distances from like certain parts of the plane to certain parts of the plane, the cockpit, and what have you. And that's basically how I get it. And so each tab here, I'll get certain dimensions for what I'm looking for. And then once I get most of the plane broken up, cockpit, we'll look at the front. Once we stretch out the dimensions from the height and the side, then we'll know the width of the aircraft, and we'll measure it out, and that'll give me the width. This one actually is about 8.25 inches wide, and it's 8.5 this way, so it's a little wider on the sides than it is taller. And then I'll actually start copying the aircraft and put it on. Just to give me an idea how I'm going to build it, and so on. And all these lines represent certain distances. I don't write them in here because I can always just go back and just click on whatever line I'm looking for, and it'll give me the distance. For example, this piece right here represents the wing bay. That's where it would sit, and that would be the size of that right there. You can, it's out of focus, but anyways, you get the idea, and so on. Just somebody would do on paper. I do it electronically. Nothing different. Got my wing here, and then finally, once I get all these dimensions from the arrow, I'll get the dimensions back here also. The wing spread. Now, on this particular aircraft, I did increase the, the chord length here, 10% of what it was originally, so it actually brings that over here. I just do it. I did that with the BE200 also, just because it's my first time doing this, and I'm not too sure what I'm doing, so the more lift I get, the better. And so come over here and we get all our parts page, and this is a page where we have all our parts that we copy over and that we're going to be using. There's the tail, there's the wing bay, portion of the wings, engine nacelles, and then so we come over here. That's the actual foil for the wings. You can see that the actual wing here, since we're only doing one-dimensional viewing, the wing here actually expands past the line of where this stops, only because if we measure the distance of the wing from this blue line all the way across over here, it actually measures this distance over here. So you got to be real careful wherever there's a curve and you have to measure. You got to make sure you measure exactly what it comes all the way around. And so that's why this wing here matches with this, and it overshoots it because it's going to curve over that, and so on. But that's basically it. And so let me go show you what I've done so far.